Uh,
Yes, when we
little
write
bit I
coordinates,
was.
when we write coordinates of numbers, we write ordered pairs like this. These are all called ordered pairs. Okay. So complex numbers can be written as ordered pairs. A plus IB can be written as A comma B within brackets. Okay. And what do they represent in our Argand diagram? As I told you, an Argand diagram is a geometric representation of a complex number. In fact, a graphical representation of a complex number. Except that we call the x-axis here as the real axis, and this we call as the imaginary axis. The y-axis we call as the imaginary axis. So suppose if I have a complex number 2 minus 3i, this can be represented in as an ordered pair as 2 comma minus 3. So what I'll do here, if I want to represent it on the Argand diagram, what I will to represent this point, then I will simply plot this point, 2 units and then minus 3 units. So this represents your complex number z is equal to 2 minus 3. Okay. So if I want to represent a number, say 1 plus 2i, which can be written as 1 comma 2. Now I will represent this as 1 and then you have a 2. So this here, say z1 is equal to 1 comma 2 is a point here. Okay. This is called an Argand diagram. This xy plane is also called as the complex plane. If you are representing complex numbers or locus of complex numbers, then this is called a complex plane. Okay. So that is how we represent complex numbers geometrically. Okay. Next we come to operations on complex numbers. What do you mean by operations of complex numbers? How you add, subtract, divide, okay, complex numbers, how you multiply complex number. These are all um, uh, uh, operations on complex numbers. So first, operations on complex numbers. The first operation that we discuss, the first operation that we discuss on complex numbers is addition. How two complex numbers are added. Suppose I take z1 is equal to a1 plus I b1. Okay, and I take z2 as a2 plus I b2. Okay, then how to add these two complex numbers? Addition of these two complex numbers is when you add, let me write it first this way, is a1 plus ib1 plus a2 plus ib2. Okay, if you want to add these two complex numbers, you take the real parts together and you take the imaginary parts together. So real parts are a1 and a2, so you take them together, a1 plus a2, and you take the imaginary parts together, b1 plus b2. So this is the addition of two complex numbers. If you want to define the negative of a complex number, and remember that this can also be written as a1 plus a2 comma b1 plus b2 as an ordered pair if you want to write. Next is negative of a complex number. Okay, what do you mean by negative of a complex number? Let us say I take z is equal to a plus ib, which obviously can be written as ab also. Okay, then we define the negative of a complex number as minus z is equal to minus a1 minus I b1, where we change the signs of the real part as well as the imaginary part. In terms of ordered pairs, we write this as minus a minus b. Now, negative of a complex number is also called the additive inverse of a complex number. Negative of z, negative of, let's say, a complex number, not z, negative of a complex number is also called its additive inverse. Okay, so suppose if I say, what is the additive inverse of, suppose I say additive inverse of 2 minus 3i. What is the additive inverse of this? Additive inverse of this is when you change the sign of the real as well as the imaginary part. So real part becomes from plus 2 becomes minus 2, and imaginary part from minus 3 becomes plus 3i. So this is the additive inverse. You simply change the signs of the real and imaginary part. Additive inverse, or you say negative of a complex number. Say if I take z is equal to 2 minus 3i, therefore negative of this number will be minus z is equal to minus 2 plus 3i. So z and minus z are additive inverses of each other. Okay. Next is subtraction of two complex numbers. It's the same thing as addition. Okay. Subtraction of two complex numbers. Suppose I have a complex number z1, a1 plus ib1, and I have z2, a2 plus ib2. Therefore, z1 minus z2 will be a1 plus ib1 minus a2 plus ib2. Open the brackets, change the sign. Take the real parts together and take the complex parts, imaginary parts together. So this becomes your, this is how you subtract. Similarly, you can find z2 minus z1 also. Similarly, z2 minus z1 is a2 minus a1 plus I times b2 minus b1. You can write this in ordered pair in this manner also. Okay. Multiplication of two complex numbers. How do you carry out the multiplication of two complex numbers? Very important. Suppose I take z is equal to a1 plus ib1, and I take z1 is equal to and z2 I take a2 plus ib2. I want to multiply the two complex numbers z1 into z2. Then I am going to multiply a1 plus ib1 with a2 plus ib2. Now you multiply as your normal multiplication is. You first multiply a1 with a2, then you multiply a1 with ib2 to get I a1 b2, and the next one is I a2 b1 plus I square b1 b2. So you get here a1 a2 plus I a1 b2, or you can take the i's together. I take I common between the two, plus a2 b1, and I square is minus 1, so this becomes minus b1 b2. Now you take the real parts together, a1 a2 minus b1 b2 plus I times a1 b2 plus a2 b1. Okay, this is how you multiply two complex numbers. If you want to write it as an ordered pair, you write this as A1 A2 minus B1 B2, comma A1 B2 plus A2 B1. Okay, so this is multiplication. Division of two complex number. Before division, what I want to discuss with you is the conjugate of a complex number. What do you mean by the conjugate of a complex number? Suppose I take a complex number A1 plus I B1. You know that A1 is the real part and B1 is the imaginary part. So we write real part of Z is equal to A1, and we write imaginary part of Z is equal to B1. Okay. Now we want to uh, define a conjugate of a number. Remember that the conjugate of a number is denoted by conjugate of a complex number. In this case, Z, conjugate of Z is denoted by a Z and you keep a bar on top, Z bar, and is defined as Z bar is equal to A1, and you change the sign of the imaginary part. You have a plus sign here, you change it into a minus sign, IB1. So if you see, E1 sign remains the same, you change the sign only of the imaginary part. Remember, for a conjugate, you have to change only the sign of the imaginary part. Examples. Suppose if you have a complex number, uh, root 3 plus 2i, then what should be the conjugate of this? Let us call this Z. Therefore, the conjugate of this will be, we change the sign only of the imaginary part. This will be your conjugate. Okay. I had mentioned this to you in your quadratic equations also when I was doing. Okay. And let us take another number. If I take Z1 is equal to minus 2 minus 3i, then in this case, the conjugate of Z1 is Z1 bar. Minus 2 will remain as it is, the real part, and we only change the sign of the imaginary part. That's true. Okay. So that is how you work out the conjugate, and that is how we define the conjugate. Suppose just one more example. If I also, if I define Z2 as 2 minus 3i to the power of 7, then what should be the conjugate of this? The conjugate of this will be 2 plus 3i, change the sign of the imaginary part, and to the power of 7. Okay. So even if power is there, you simply change the sign of the imaginary part and you will get the conjugate of the complex number. Okay. Properties of conjugates I will do a little later. Okay. Let us first now do division of a complex number. Okay. How to divide two complex numbers? Let's say number 5. Let's say I call Z1 is A1 plus IB1, and I say Z2 is equal to A2 plus IB2. Okay. Therefore, how do you find Z1 by Z2? How do you find Z1 by Z2? It is A1 plus IB1. Now, this process is very important, so please take note of this process. Okay. Because you will be carrying out this process with normal imaginary complex numbers also. So if you have, therefore you have Z1 by Z2 is equal to A1 plus IB1 by A2 plus IB2. Now in order to find out this in terms of A plus IB, you multiply the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. The conjugate of the denominator will be A2 minus IB2. Okay. Remember to multiply the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. Okay. Now we multiply the numerator and the denominator. So E1, E2 minus I, E1, B2, normal multiplication that we do, plus I, B1, A2 minus I square B1, B2, whole divided by, this is A plus B into A minus B form. So this will be A square minus B square. So this is A1, A2 minus, take the imaginary parts together. We can take I common. We get B1, A2 minus A1, B2. And I square is minus 1, minus combined to become a plus. Comes B1, B2 divided by A2 square minus I square B2 square. Now you take the real parts together. A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus I times B1, A2 minus A1, B2 divided by A2 square. I square is minus 1, minus combines to get a plus, B2 square. Now you want to express this in the form x plus iy. So what you do is you divide, you separate the real part okay, and you separate the imaginary part. Okay, these two you separate. So therefore, this is what our resulting number is, Z1 by Z2. If you want to write it in terms of ordered pairs, you can write this as E1, A2 plus B1, B2 divided by A2 square plus B2 square, B1, A2 minus A1, B2 divided by A2 square plus this is B2 square. Okay, so this is in terms of ordered pairs. Similarly, you can find Z2 by Z1 also. If you want to find Z2 by Z1, you need to multiply by numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the denominator Z1. Okay, so similarly, you can find Z2 by Z1. Okay. So now what is left? Okay, reciprocal of a number, reciprocal of a complex number. This is the last part, reciprocal. How to find out the reciprocal of a complex number? If I have this method is very similar to division. Okay, if I have a complex number z is equal to a plus ib, how to find out 1 by z, reciprocal of this number? So I write this as 1 by a plus ib. Now in the denominator, whenever I see a complex number a plus ib, I multiply the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. So conjugate of the denominator will be a minus ib. I multiply the numerator and denominator by the conjugate. Okay. So this is a minus ib divided by, this is again a plus b into a minus b form. So this will be a square minus b square. So this will be a minus ib divided by a square minus I square b square. So it will be a minus ib divided by a square plus b square, which is equal to a by a square plus b square minus I times b by A square plus B square. So this is what your reciprocal of the complex number is. You can, if you want to write this in ordered pair form, this is A by A square plus B square and minus B by, because of this negative sign, write a minus B by A square plus B square. Okay. Any questions till this part? No questions? Next, properties of operations. Not all the properties you need to remember. Okay. Only certain important properties will be required for you to remember. The first property that you need to remember is that the addition of a complex number is commutative. Now, what do you mean by commutativity? That if you add Z1 and Z2, that is Z1 plus Z2, it will be the same as Z2 plus Z1. So, commutativity with respect to addition. First property. For any two complex numbers, or any three, let's say, Z1, Z2, and Z3, Z1 plus Z2 is equal to Z2 plus Z1. Okay, this is say A and B. Z1, Z2, product of two complex numbers, is always equal to Z2, Z1. This is called commutativity with respect to plus addition. Commutativity with respect to multiplication. Okay, this. And the next one is uh, associativity. Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3 is always equal to Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. This is called associativity with respect to addition. Next, Z1 into Z2 Z3 is equal to Z1 Z2 to Z3. This is called associativity with respect to multiplication dot. Okay, and the final property is that we need to know is distributivity, distributive property or distributivity. That is, if you have Z1 into Z2 plus Z3, you can write this as Z1 Z2 plus Z1 Z3. Also, if you have Z2 plus Z3 into Z1, then you can write this as Z2 Z1 plus Z3 Z1. This is called the left distributive property. Okay, and this is called the right distributive property. These three properties of addition, multiplication of complex numbers you need to remember. Now, the question here is that uh, uh, can you show, they see they have shown that Z1 Z2 whole square is equal to Z1 square plus twice Z1 Z2 plus Z2 square. Does this formula hold in case of a complex number? Yes, it holds. You can see the proof here. What I will do here is the proof of Z1 plus Z2 whole cube, let's say. Okay. So by A plus B whole cube formula, you have A cube plus B cube plus thrice A. Oh, okay, not this way. Not A cube plus B cube, because A plus B whole cube is for your real numbers. Z1 plus Z2 whole cube can be written as Z1 plus Z2 uh, whole square into Z1 plus Z2. I'll continue for 3 more minutes. Okay. So you expand now. You have already seen that Z1 plus Z2 whole square is Z1 square plus 2Z1 Z2 plus Z2 square into Z1 plus Z2. Now you multiply this, you get Z1 cube plus Z1 square Z2 plus twice Z1 square Z2 plus twice Z1 Z2 square plus Z1 Z2 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 square Z1 Z2 square Z1 plus Z2 square Z2. Okay, so this one is Z1 cube plus, now see, Z1 square Z2 and twice Z1 square Z2, they combine to become thrice Z1 square Z2. And here, see, I have Z1 Z2 square and I have Z2 Z1 square here. So since multiplication of complex numbers is commutative, I can write this as twice Z2 square Z1, and this one you can be written as the same plus Z2 cube. Z2 square into Z2 can be written as Z2 cube, because multiplication of complex numbers is commutative. That is why. So Z1 cube plus Z2 cube plus thrice Z1 square Z2 plus thrice Z2 square Z1. That is your formula for Z1 plus Z2 whole cube. Okay. So I stop here for today.